Did you know there was a gorilla who could communicate with humans using sign language, lovingly played with kittens, had a great sense of humor, understood over 1,000 words, and even grasped the basics of driving a car? And what if I told you that this remarkable gorilla pondered the concept of death and left a haunting message for the world before she passed? Today, I'll share the extraordinary story of Koko the gorilla, an animal who forever changed our understanding of intelligence. On July 4th, 1971, Independence Day in the United States, a baby gorilla was born at the San Francisco Zoo. She was named Hanabiko, meaning fireworks child in Japanese, later affectionately shortened to Koko. At the time, no one could have predicted that this tiny gorilla would revolutionize our perception of animal cognition. Koko's early life was far from easy. As an infant, she fell ill and was separated from her mother for medical care. Unfortunately, when she was reintroduced, her mother rejected her. Isolated and alone, Koko was placed in a cage with unfamiliar gorillas, her only comfort being a plush toy gorilla she clung to as a surrogate mother, hugging it for reassurance. Before her move to Stanford, she was housed in a temporary enclosure at the San Francisco Zoo with little enrichment, making her early months particularly lonely. But fate had something incredible in store. In 1972, a young graduate student from Stanford University, Francine Penny Patterson, took an interest in Koko. Penny was conducting PhD research on communication in great apes and wanted to teach a gorilla sign language. At the time, gorillas were not considered particularly intelligent compared to other primates, and many saw them as aggressive, discouraging close interaction. But Penny's experiment would challenge, and ultimately change, these assumptions. Teaching Koko sign language in the early days was not easy. Human instructors typically guide learners' hands into the correct positions, but Koko refused to be touched. Penny had to adjust, patiently demonstrating signs by repeatedly showing Koko objects and modeling the corresponding gestures. But Koko proved to be an exceptional learner. Unlike chimpanzees, who primarily learn through imitation, gorillas are more independent thinkers. Koko often modified signs or even invented her own gestures when she didn't understand an instruction. She also displayed an internal thought process similar to human self-reflection, occasionally signing to herself as if thinking out loud. Her first sign to Penny was, "Drink," a single finger touching her lips while the others curled. Over time, a deep bond developed between the scientist and the gorilla. Eventually, Koko was moved from the zoo to a specially designed research trailer at Stanford. She had her own room but was free to explore the entire space, including Penny's quarters. For safety, there was a cage inside the trailer, but it was never needed. By the age of 3, Koko had mastered around 200 signs in American Sign Language. She didn't just learn object names. She could express emotions and make observations about the world. For example, when shown a picture of an ape about to take a bath, knowing she disliked bathing, she signed, "I cry." Upon seeing a horse with a bridle in its mouth, she immediately signed, "Horse sad teeth." One of the most astonishing aspects of Koko's communication was her sense of humor. She once jokingly called herself a good bird and claimed she could fly, only to later sign that she was kidding. On another occasion, she playfully pulled Penny's hair, then laughed and signed an apology. These moments demonstrated Koko's ability to understand that others had thoughts and feelings separate from her own, a concept known as theory of mind. Koko also displayed incredible linguistic creativity. When she didn't know the name for something, she invented one by combining familiar words. For example, she called Penny's ring a finger bracelet, a logical description since a ring is like a tiny bracelet for a finger. This pattern appeared in other situations too. Seeing a mask for the first time, she signed, "I hat." Looking into an empty cup, she signed, "Drink no." She even categorized animals spontaneously, once calling a swan a water bird, without ever being taught the term. She also developed her own phrase for ice cream, signing "cold candy." These examples showed that Koko wasn't just memorizing signs. She truly understood their meaning and could creatively combine them to express new ideas. Some skeptics argued that Dr. Patterson was simply training Coco like a circus animal, but the evidence suggested otherwise. When Coco was alone, she played with dolls and even had lengthy signed conversations with them. She also attempted to communicate using sign language with other animals, and when they didn't respond, even tried signing to inanimate objects. Behavior like this is difficult to dismiss as simple training. Based on various IQ tests, Coco's intelligence was estimated to be between 70 and 90 points. While this is below the average human IQ, it remains an astonishing result for an animal. Coco could draw at the level of a 4-year-old child, sketching her favorite toys and elements of the world around her. She even had a boyfriend, a male gorilla named Michael, who was also taught several words in sign language. Later, another male gorilla, Endoom, joined them. Together, they became the first pair of animals in the world capable of communicating, using human language. And they didn't just use sign language to trade bananas. Once, when Michael tore the leg off Coco's beloved doll, she became furious and signed, "Dirty bad toilet." One of the most touching aspects of Coco's life was her deep love for kittens. For her birthday in 1984, she made a special request. She wanted a cat as a gift. Sorry for the brief interruption. Before we continue, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support means the world to us. Thank you. Her caretakers brought her several stray kittens to choose from. Coco carefully examined each one and eventually selected a small, tailless gray kitten, whom she named All Ball. She treated him as if he were her own baby, carrying him gently on her back, hugging him, and even attempting to nurse him. Despite her massive size, Coco was incredibly delicate with her tiny pet, always making sure not to hurt him. Tragically, later that same year, All Ball escaped from the enclosure and was struck by a car. Coco's reaction to the loss of her beloved companion stunned even seasoned scientists. When she was told the heartbreaking news, she initially sat in silence, seemingly in shock. Then she began making soft moaning sounds, the deep, sorrowful vocalizations that gorillas use to express grief. She signed words indicating sadness, furrowed her brows, and repeatedly used the signs for sad and bad. Pressing her hands to her cheek, the sign for sleep, she repeatedly signed "Sleep Cat," as if trying to come to terms with the fact that her dear friend had fallen asleep forever. After All Ball's death, Penny observed that Coco continued making sounds similar to human crying for several days. She refused to play, repeatedly signed sad, and even lost her appetite for a time, withdrawing socially. Her visible sorrow over the loss of her kitten was profound. Over the years, she adopted several more kittens, including Smokey and Lipstick, demonstrating her enduring love for caring for small animals. This ability to experience loss and express grief made Coco seem even more human. As the years passed, Coco continued to welcome new kittens into her life. For her 44th birthday, she received 2 new kittens, which she named Miss Black and Miss Gray, after their fur colors. A video of the enormous gorilla gently stroking tiny kittens quickly went viral, touching millions of people and further cementing Coco's place as one of the most extraordinary animals in history. Beyond her intelligence, Coco was known for her unique personality and quirks. One of the more unusual aspects of her behavior was her fascination with the human chest. She displayed an unusual curiosity about this part of the body and occasionally used gestures to request to see it. In 2005, 3 caregivers who worked with Coco even filed a lawsuit, claiming they were pressured to comply with this peculiar request, which she expressed through sign language. Despite such controversies, Coco continued to demonstrate remarkable self-awareness. By the age of 19, she successfully passed the mirror self-recognition test. Unlike most gorillas who perceive their reflection as another gorilla, Coco immediately recognized herself. She was often seen gazing at her reflection, further proving her cognitive abilities. Coco's remarkable self-awareness extended beyond language. She loved watching movies, and her favorite film was Tea with Mussolini. She also enjoyed television and had a special fondness for Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. When she met Fred Rogers in person, she immediately recognized him, signed, "Love," and gently touched his sweater. Coco even had a favorite bedtime story, The Three Little Pigs, which she enjoyed being read to her before sleep. She was deeply moved by emotional scenes in films. Whenever she watched The Saddest Part of Tea with Mussolini, when the young boy says goodbye to his family, she would turn away to avoid getting upset. The film Jurassic Park also left a strong impression on her. She found the dinosaurs so frightening that afterward, she was hesitant to approach her toy dinosaurs. These moments revealed just how deeply Coco felt emotions. As her fame grew, so did public fascination with her. Her iconic photograph with all ball appeared on the cover of National Geographic, becoming one of the most famous images in the magazine's history. Many celebrities visited her, eager to meet the extraordinary gorilla. One of them was comedian Robin Williams, with whom she formed an instant and heartfelt bond. A touching video captures their meeting, showing Coco playfully trying on Robin's glasses, inviting him to tickle her and making funny faces together. Not only did Coco recognize Williams during his visit, but she also remembered their time together whenever she saw him on television, excitedly signing his name in recognition. When Robin Williams tragically passed away in 2014, Coco's reaction was deeply moving. Upon hearing the news, she became noticeably sad, walking around with a downcast expression for the rest of the day. According to her caretakers at the Gorilla Foundation, Coco signed words like cry and sad, and remained unusually quiet for days. Typically lively and communicative, she instead withdrew and even refused food for several hours, displaying an uncharacteristically calm and reflective demeanor. Her caretakers noted that she seemed to understand the weight of the loss, mourning in a way that felt profoundly human. Coco's intelligence went beyond sign language. She learned to use a special computer with symbols that allowed her to type words which the device would then vocalize. Her skills extended even further. She could hold a pen, select options from a menu on paper, and create basic drawings using written symbols. Incredibly, Coco even learned to play musical instruments. She experimented with a harmonica, toy flutes, and a simple recorder. In 2012, scientists were astonished when they observed Coco blowing into a recorder and producing sounds, something previously believed to be impossible for primates due to the structure of their respiratory system. One of the most fascinating aspects of Coco's personality was her understanding of death. One day, a caregiver showed her a skeleton and asked if it was alive or dead. Coco responded by signing dead. When asked where dead gorillas go, she calmly signed comfortable whole, and then blew a gentle goodbye kiss. She even asked her own questions about death, demonstrating a curiosity that extended beyond simple understanding. Once, when shown a skull and asked whose it was, she signed gorilla and then dead, revealing a deep awareness of mortality. These moments left many wondering just how profoundly Coco grasped the concept of life and death. In her later years, Coco became a kind of ambassador for nature, using her voice to urge people to take better care of the planet and its creatures. "Nature is watching you," she once signed, a haunting yet powerful message that made many pause and reflect. It was as if she felt a sense of responsibility for her fellow gorillas still living in the wild. On June 19, 2018, just weeks before her 47th birthday, Coco passed away peacefully in her sleep. In her later years, she had developed some age-related health issues, including arthritis and respiratory difficulties. Despite this, she remained active and engaged with those around her. Surrounded by those who had cared for her throughout her life, Coco spent her final moments receiving love and attention. On the night of her passing, the staff at the Gorilla Foundation noted that she had spent a calm day, peacefully drifting off to sleep with no signs of distress. When news of her death broke, millions around the world mourned the loss of the gorilla who had forever changed the way we view animal intelligence. The Gorilla Foundation, which had been established to support research and conservation efforts, released a heartfelt statement. Her legacy will live on, shaping our understanding of the emotional and cognitive abilities of gorillas. But Before she left this world, Coco gave humanity a haunting message, one that forces us to reflect on our relationship with nature. As if she possessed an innate understanding of human history and its consequences, she signed words that remain as relevant as ever. I am gorilla. I am flowers, animals. I am nature. Man. Coco love earth. Coco love. But man stupid. Coco cry. Fix earth. Help earth. Nature see you. Thank you. In her final days, Coco became increasingly introspective, often signing love and good gorilla, as if offering reassurance to herself and those around her. Her story stands as one of the most extraordinary examples of interspecies communication, emotion, and intelligence ever recorded. Were you moved by Coco's incredible connection with humans? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Coco's life is a powerful reminder that animals are intelligent, capable of deep emotions, and have voices worth listening to. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a fantastic day.